Well, I don't even know where to begin with this video. I'll start with my name. My name is William Spirit Dancer, and I have a message. I don't even know where to begin. I'm just gonna start. My name is William Spirit Dancer. I know my name is different, it's different. I will explain that later. Right now, that's my name. And basically, I'm what they call a dream warrior. But wait, what is a dream warrior, you say? Actually, if you're listening to this video and if you're interested, you are a dream warrior as well. And what is a dream warrior? So basically, a dream warrior is someone who is fully living their purpose, or at least trying to, in the world. And so basically, I teach a philosophy called dream power. And a dream warrior is someone who lives this philosophy, which, it's just my interpretation of some truths. And basically, the root of it is about living your purpose, doing your passion, which, I'm sure you've all been hearing that for a while. Unfortunately, that topic has been co-opted by our enemies. Oh, didn't I tell you? We have enemies. Anyway, if you want to learn more, I have a website. It's called My Dream. I'm in a process of rebuilding it, so it may be kind of sparse now, but understand there is 22 years worth of material that I will be uploading to that. And yes, I've been doing this, or trying to do it, or trying to understand it for 22 years. It has been my life. I've dragged my family through the gutter, literally sometimes, to understand it. But first, let's talk about me a little bit, because you're probably wondering, who is this dude? Well, my name is William Spirit Dancer. My previous name before I changed it was William Drake. Like I said, I'll do a whole video on my name. But right now, I think what's important is the message I feel compelled to tell you. Well, basically, I'll try to quickly tell my story of how I got here. So understand, what is this about? This is about you living your purpose. My job is to help you do that. Why it's critically important at this time in our history. It has taken me 22 years to fully understand all the dynamics of what's going on, but I think I understand the dynamics. I have the wisdom now, share it and teach it to help others. My purpose is to help other people remember their purpose, believe it or not. So that's what I'm gonna do. I used to worry about, is this material true? Will it really work? All this stuff. Now I realize that my main job is just to get it out. How you process it is up to you. Maybe it'll resonate with you, maybe it won't. I have no idea. But I realized recently that my job is just to present it. I can't control how you receive it. But I'm determined to at least get it out. I feel like, I gotta get it out, right? I don't wanna have to look back at my life and realize I failed because I never even got the information out. I mean, at a minimum, I could get the information out. Forgive me if I'm a little wordy, if this video is a little long. I could do a more polished video, but I have so much material to get out. I have to just start. And so I'm trying my best to just start. So yeah, if I can get into a place where I can do more consolidated or concise videos, I will try. So where to begin? I think we need to begin, with me a little bit. Like I said, you're probably wondering, who am I and what's my deal? That's another video. I'm gonna do a longer video on my story. I've written about it on my blog, but I'll try to sum it up as quick as I can. Let's see, I'm an IT professional. I went to MIT. I've been in tech 20 years or 30 years, ever since the 80s. I'm mostly a software person. So yeah, that's how I ended up in this. And the way it happened was, like I said, I'll try to keep it short. I was at a consulting gig in Toronto, and I was fully into that lifestyle of, making a lot of money, doing tech work. Back then, Bill Gates was like the pinnacle of that. We want to get a lot of money. We're going to be happy when we get a lot of money, blah, blah, blah. And I was on this assignment for a consulting company called Gemini up in Toronto. It was a really cushy job. This was in 1990, and basically I had a spiritual experience, and it totally changed my life. That experience is the basis of Dream Power. I basically started to receive this information It was very bizarre at the time, and understand I was kind of a spiritual person. And by the way, this is spiritual stuff I'm talking about. We can get more into that part, but it is definitely a spiritual thing. It's a good spiritual thing. If you're wondering, like, what kind of spiritual? Definitely good. We are on the side of good. But basically, I psychically or telepathically or, I don't know. It just, information started coming to me and I started writing it down. I ended up quitting that job because this information was just so amazing to me that I was like, I have to at least try to live this information. I wanted to share with people. I started sharing with people. I started giving classes and workshops. I wrote a book, several books actually, that are all sitting on my computer, so you don't even need to go look for it. But I didn't want to be one of those people that were like, oh, I got this philosophy or advice or whatever, and I started selling classes and books and stuff, and I'm making all this money, and I haven't really lived it myself. So I really wanted to test the material first in real life myself before I started really promoting it. Looking back, after having tried to live it for 22 years, having lots of really bad times and some really awesome times, up and down, I can say that the material is pretty true, it's pretty on target. I made a ton of mistakes, but they say wisdom is knowledge plus experience. So I got the information, the knowledge, I tested it in the real world. I had experience with it for 22 years, and now I have the wisdom to understand it. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. So I just called that whole bag of material that I was receiving dream power. And understand, before this, I was a quasi-spiritual person. I had just sort of stumbled into some kind of spirituality, mostly through the near-death experience stories, which everyone knows those now, but back then no one knew about them. And that's how I came to God or to spirituality, is through those stories. It wasn't through any kind of religion or anything. It was a direct, I don't know. I just was guided to that material, the near-death experiences, and it answered the questions I needed answered. But that was sort of the beginning. And then in 1999, I had this other experience that kind of activated my purpose work. I didn't really know what to make of the material at the time. I just know it was really cool. And I thought, if someone could live this, this would be really awesome. But it was so radical and different, like I said, I wanted to test it first. Unfortunately or fortunately, I started that process and I dragged my family. I have a family, I have a wife and 4 kids. The kids are grown now, but when they were kids, I kind of dragged them through the process of me trying to understand this material. For good or for worse, I don't know. According to a certain materialistic perspective, I guess worse. They didn't have the most materialistic childhood growing up, but I think they discovered some cool things, hopefully, that they may not have if we hadn't gone through that journey. If you want to know what that journey was like, I've actually written a screenplay for a film called Plan G, which I'm going to be changing to just Dream Warrior Plan G. I'm novelizing that, and as soon as I have chapters, I'm going to upload chapters to the website. It's a pretty cool story. It's a fictional account of what happened, so it's a lot of drama and stuff. I wanted to make a film, and I still do want to make a series of that story, but in the meantime, I'm just going to novelize it. The purpose of it is to show people what it's like when you try to leave the normal world and go live your purpose. Feel free to ask me questions in the comments, whatever. I'm here to help, so as best I can. So basically I quit this high-end job, I left IT, and for 20 years I tried to find my passion, purpose, and live it based on the material I had received. And I tried to share this material in different ways. At the time, I thought it was mostly through film. And I've been through this incredible journey. So I'm here now. It's the year 2023. It's January, well, it's February. And I don't know when you'll see this video, but recent events have gave me more context as to what the purpose of the material is for and why I need to get it out now. I've gone through all kinds of inner doubts and insecurity, especially coming from that, world of MIT and engineering and IT and all that crap. You know, it's like to make this shift was very difficult. There was a lot of judgment from others, my external family, brothers and sisters, and all these people who were very much into that world, that worldly world, and you know, mostly judging people by how much money they make and material success, which I haven't really, after this journey started, I didn't have a lot of that, and I still don't. Recent events have made me realize that I have to get this material out, okay, because things are kind of coming to a head. So, what to talk about? Should I talk about what dream power is, or should I talk about the problem in the world? I'm not sure. Well, let's talk about what dream power is first. So dream power is a set of philosophies or a philosophy, this material I got is mostly related to your purpose in life. Passion is a part of that, but it's the tool, you know, it's really about your purpose. And let's see, I think, so listen, for the sake of this conversation, you need to know something, which is that the world we currently live in, this society, which I feel is a pretty, I don't know if the word fallen is good. It's just not a good society, as we can even obviously see more than ever. This society is like going down, right? If it was the Titanic, it's sinking, right? If it was a ship, it's sinking. We could go on, that's another video or another part, you know, but the point is that I just call that our society the matrix. I'm not saying we live in a computer program, I just sort of call that our whole economic system and our whole set of values, I just call that the matrix, right? Especially the Western perspective of capitalism and all that stuff. Go get a job, go to school, basically what I was doing, right? Get a nice, go to school, get a nice job. You know the drill, you've heard this, make a lot of money, be happy, right? Buy a house, or white picket fence and a car and get your stuff going and you're supposed to be happy, right? I call that whole system the matrix. So when you hear me talking about the matrix, that's what I'm talking about. And it's kind of hard to talk about dream power out of the context of the matrix, right? So the idea is like, dream power is about doing your purpose. The problem is that the matrix people have co-opted that term, and now it's all screwed up. So that people who might feel some sense of, I need to do my purpose or whatever, as soon as you step out the door, you're hit with all this marketing saying, buy a house and live your dream, buy a motorcycle and live your passion, take out a business loan and do your purpose. It's like, you're like, oh, okay, come to this school and live your purpose. Like, come have meaning in your life at this resort. It's like, they have co-opted it. I don't know how but they have. And my job is to help you see through the BS of it, because it's a battle. That's another thing we'll get into, and that's why I have the term dream warrior, which is basically a person trying to live their purpose in this world, in this matrix, right? Because it's a battle. And so I use the term dream. When I say dream, I'm not talking about a matrix dream of like buying a Ferrari or, having $1 million materialistic dream. Although, hey, I'm not totally against, having abundance or money or whatever you need or resources. That's, I'm not saying that's all bad. But when that becomes the purpose, then it distracts us from our true purpose, then it's a problem. And I say for most people, a lot of people, that's what's going on. And my job is to help wake you up out of that sort of delusion that is dispelled so that you can get on with the work you were born here to do. And so basically, dream power is about living your purpose. When I say dream, I'm talking about your purpose in the sense that if your ultimate dream in life was to live your purpose, that's the ultimate dream, right? Obviously, I did it because I thought dream sounded more exciting than purpose. Purpose sounded kind of boring. That was in the old days. And nowadays, I don't care anymore. But that's what I mean by dream power. Really, you could call it purpose power. So it's a lot of information, okay? But at the root of it is, who is this for? So if you're watching this video, or reading some of the stuff on the blog or whatever, and you will feel connected, or you will feel called or drawn to the material if it's for you. If it's just sort of like, what, this is stupid, then it's probably not for you. I'm not doing this for everyone, and I'm not here to convince anyone. I'm just here to present it to those who need it. You will know if you need it, because you will feel a resonance. You'll feel something. You'll feel like, yeah, this is what I need. Like, you'll feel it. You will be guided in a spiritual way to this material and other material on your journey. So I'm just doing my part. My job is to present it, and that's it. So I'm not here to convince people and all that stuff. But honestly, I feel like there's so much confusion out there. So let's get on with it. So basically, what is dream power? So dream power is your purpose, living your purpose. What is your purpose? So, by the way, there's a lot of confusion about that. Oh, what's your purpose? It's to paint. It's to get $1 million and feed the hungry. It's to travel. Who am I to judge you? Well, as your teacher, I can judge you. Whatever. You don't have to accept my judgment. But hey, I have clear definitions. Let's clear away the BS and get to the point. The point is that it's real simple. Okay, so there's two parts to this whole thing: your purpose and your passion. Unfortunately, these two get mixed in together a lot, and like I said, the Matrix has totally co-opted it, to the point that you don't know what is what. But basically, to sum it up, is real simple. Your purpose is things in the world that you care about. So for example, it's usually a problem in the world that you care about. You may not feel you have the skills or whatever, or the means or whatever to deal with it or to handle it or to help it or fix it, but you care about it. For example, let's say you're watching the news and all of a sudden they say, I don't know, I'll just use a stereotypical example. There's some kids in Haiti that are starving because of an earthquake or something. And then right then you feel something. You feel like, man, that sucks, that's bad. There's a big homeless problem somewhere, and you just feel bad. You're like, gosh, we should do something about that. Why can't, or there's affordable housing problem. Like, why can't people have houses? Like, you get upset, you get a little mad maybe even, but you care. You're like, you want to reach through the TV and be like, we should do something. Maybe you have no clue what to do. That's not the point. That's not the point. The point is that you feel, you care, you just feel like, gosh, I want to do something. That is probably related to your purpose. So when that happens, you need to pay attention, okay? Things you care about in the world, problems in the world that you care about. And yes, I'm talking about problems because we are here as Dream Warriors to heal this civilization or this society. I won't quite say the planet. If I say the planet, I mean the civilization, our current civilization, which has all kinds of freaking problems. We are here to help, try, make an effort to heal those problems. And there's a big reason why, which I'll get to later. So that's it. I would say the biggest one of those things you care about, that's your purpose. So I'll give you an example. My daughter, Mari, she cares a lot about social justice issues like Black Lives Matter and this kind of thing. Well, it's obvious to me that this is related to her purpose. It's not obvious to her yet. But, she's kind of there. We wake up to these things we care about, but we don't necessarily, we notice, there are things that we sort of care about, but we haven't awoken yet to the fact that we're supposed to help deal with it. So that's your purpose. What do you care about? Write it down. What do I care about in the world? I'm not talking about like, oh, I care about my children. I'm talking about problems in the world. What problems in the world do you care about? What gets you upset where you want to reach through the TV and hit someone? That's a sign of what your purpose is. Write down a list of those things without judgment about how you're going to help. Like, you might be like, well, I really care about all the polluted water in this city, but I don't know nothing about that, and I can't do that. I got to work my job and pay my bill. That's not the point. The point is just to notice it. So the second big piece is passion. And that's easy. It's another one. It's real simple, right? So when I watch the TV and the Matrix people in the media, like convoluting this whole thing to their own purposes, it just pisses me off, right? Like, because I know it's real simple and easy. And that's what you love to do. Your passion is what you love to do, right? And again, without judgment, so let's say you do some activity. I don't know, maybe it's surfing. And you're like, man, so I love surfing. But how do you know that's your real passion, right? Well, it's real simple. Your passion is the thing that you love to do that makes you feel the most alive. And that's it. And you might have several things, but there's probably one that really sticks out. You might have several things, like I have several things that I love to do, but there's like one thing that really sticks out. And similar for purposes, you might have several things you care about, but there might be one that kind of sticks out more than others. So a simple exercise you can do is, again, write a little question on a piece of paper. What makes me feel most alive? What do I love to do? And answer that just without judgment. Just answer that question. Don't judge it. Like, it could seem really stupid and ridiculous. That's not the point. The point is to acknowledge it. This is what I love to do. This is what makes me feel most alive. This is extremely important for reasons you may not understand. This is very deep stuff. That's why I was so amazed when the material was coming to me. I was like, can this really be true? This is awesome. So anyway, this is the kind of thing I'm gonna be talking about more, but those are two simple exercises. My job is to help you in this process. Took me a while to figure that out. What's my purpose? My purpose is to help you guys figure out and live your purpose. That's it. So I'm just gonna ramble here because it's so much. It's coming right now. Like, I don't even know where to begin. So I'm just gonna say stuff. So one, how does passion relate to purpose? This is a problem because in our society, it gets all convoluted. People are like mixing it all together. Oh, my purpose is to surf. I love surfing. My purpose is to bake cookies because I love baking cookies. I love cookies. That's all mixed up, right? Or my passion is to feed the poor. That's all mixed up. Like, no, that's wrong. The passion, and yes, I'm saying that. I have researched this for 22 years. I'm telling you. Now, I could be wrong. I'm open to being wrong. You can comment in the comments if you think I'm coming from a wrong perspective. But I think this information will help clarify it so people can get on with the work, which is what we want to do. We don't want to keep mucking around and all this misinformation and misunderstandings. And we want to understand the issue and get on with the work. Like, that's it, right? And the matrix will have you stuck in the mud, going back and forth, totally confused, knocked out, and get nothing done, which is what they don't want you to get nothing done. They just want you consuming and working. That's it. But we have a higher calling. And so basically, what is the relationship between purpose and passion? Or purpose and passion? Here's the relationship. Purpose is primary because it's our ultimate goal, right? So again, what do we care about? Again, it's a problem we were born to help heal. But let's say you want to, I'm just using simple examples. It could be anything, but let's just take a stereotypical example. You want to feed the hungry kids in Milwaukee. Okay, no, you want to feed the hungry kids in Haiti. That's a more real example. The next question is how? Which leads to what? Like, what should I do? Which is an action, a verb. And that's where the purpose is what? What is the problem that needs healing that we're going to help heal in the world? But how? How do we do this? And and what means will we do it? Do, action. So we need to take an action. I mean, look at all the verbs, like all the things we could do to deal with that issue. We could talk about it, write about it. We could fly over there and feed them. We could make a movie about it. We could write a song about it. We could go raise money about it. You know, we could grow the food, have someone else ship it. We could come up with recipes. We could go raise them. You know, there's like 1,000 ways, right? They're all verbs. They're all actions you would take. And that's where the passion comes in. You got to do something, right? So that's what the passion is. The passion is your hammer. The passion is your tool. It's the thing you're going to do to help heal the problem, to do your purpose. So let's say your passion is filmmaking, or let's say your passion is music. Then you would use music to heal that problem. Now you might think, well, that's dumb. Why should I use music when I need to just go over there and feed the kids? I understand, it would seem that way. But there's bigger forces at play here that you need to understand. And so basically, I'm going to get into that. But just know right now that your passion is the thing you love to do. You're going to use that to heal the problem you care about. That's it. That's dream power in one sentence. And it's as simple as that, but it gets pretty deep and complicated. But it's really as simple as that. And so yeah. So anyway, I think I've said enough for this first video. I don't want it to be too long. It's already pretty long. I'm going to be churning out videos. I'm going to be uploading my writing to the blog. If you want to get the writing, sign up for the email list on the blog, and that's how you're going to be able to get the writings as I upload them, as well as all kinds of other stuff. I have all kinds of mega plans. And I'm ready to go because we are running out of time, if we haven't already run out of time. So that's it. Welcome to the mission. And I will see you on the battlefield. Talk to you soon.